Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Fortnite 3D thumbnails in Source Filmmaker. And the first step of making these thumbnails is you have to get the background. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make the background, but in case if you don't want to make them, I'll be linking my Discord in the top link of this video. And I'll have free backgrounds and free models and free renders. So you won't have to do that. You can just skip to this part of the video in case you don't want to make the background. But if you do have an idea for a background and you actually do want to make one, you just want to go to your career, you want to go to replays, and just hop into a random replay. And if your replay is in nighttime mode and you want to have a bright background, you just go back into a different replay, but most likely you'll have an area where it's not night and it'll be daytime. You can get a good background. And like I said again, there'll be free Season 8 wallpaper backgrounds. There'll be about 50 in this one, and then a Season 9 pack will be about 100 in here, and then some renders and assets and stuff, so that's good for free. But once you're in your replay mode, you just want to pause it and switch the third person drone to drone free, so then you can move around and find your angle for your background. It's really easy if you have an idea already, so you can just go to that area on the map and then get the angle, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, I found my angle, and because I'm going for a more brighter, just blue and green type of thumbnail, I just went to the east part of Haunted Hills, where there's just trees and green grass. And once you found your area, you just want to move your part of the video towards the front, so then it's the brighter, because once you're like midway through the video or game, it just gets dark, so you just want to move that towards the front so it's as bright as possible and your thumbnail looks as best. Okay, now that you have your angle and your thumbnail idea, to make it look as best as possible and not as low quality, you want to move over to the settings and turn everything on epic, and then make this. I plan on winning, but you can probably do a full screen screenshot, but I do this and I click apply, and you don't want to do this first because then it'll just be really laggy. Okay, now that you have that done, you want to move over to this camera thing and turn off auto exposure, so then you can get the right. So if you're going to do a nighttime thumbnail, you probably want to have it more low, and if you're going to do like a really bright, you want to crank it up a little bit more. But you just want to get that, don't make it too bright because you're going to change this in Photoshop later. So you want it to be more natural look, and then you'll make it brighter in Photoshop. So just find the best one for you. Okay, this looks about best for me. So now once you have done that, you want to click this button right here. So then it gets rid of everything, and you want to go to your snipping tool, and you want to click new, and then get a screenshot of all this as your background. And then once you got that done on your snipping tool, you just want to save it. And then don't worry about this frames per second. You can switch that later in Photoshop and fix it. And then after that, you want to switch back all your settings in Fortnite, and you can just close that, and you won't have to need that anymore. Okay, now if you don't have Source Filmmaker, you just want to go to steampower.com, install Steam, and then search up Source Filmmaker and download that. To do this, you just want to open Steam, sign into your account or make one, search up SFM, not SFM. After that, Source Filmmaker will be the first thing to open up. You just want to open that and download it, install it, and then it'll be the first thing in your library. You just want to launch it. But actually, before you do that, you actually want to go to browse the workshop in the Source Filmmaker library, so you can get your models, because they'll be all in here. Or I'll have the link posted in my Discord. They'll be in the top of the description of this video. You just want to search up Fortnite, or you can search up any specific skin you want or gun, because there's mostly everything. You'll have 95% of the Fortnite items on here. You just want to go find a skin. But right now I'm going to do the Jonesy model from Fortnite, or the tfue default. I already have that. You just want to click the check mark, and it will automatically be downloaded. And once you got all your Fortnite models for SFM, you want to go to the second link in the description to download this Whiteroom file that will need to open in SFM, so you can see all your characters. And then you want to open your folders and then locate that Whiteroom file, and you want to go to your program files, Steam, Steam apps, Common, Source Filmmaker, Game, TF Movies, Maps, and you just want to drag the Whiteroom file into this folder. Now once you've done all that, you just want to open Source Filmmaker. You can create this whatever you want. I'm just going to create a test, and if you're going to do an animation, you want to switch this to 60 frames. But otherwise, that's it. You're just going to click create, and then once you created your thing, you want to go down here and check this, so you're able to move stuff, and it's going to say no map loader. You just want to click load map, And then make sure you have this on all mods and just search in WH, and this first thing should show up as Whiteroom. You just want to open that. And this might take a while. Just keep saying load map, and it'll probably take about a minute or two. Now once that disappears, your thing will turn white, and to load in your models you just want to right click this and then click create animation set for a new model. And then you can just make sure you click this, and you can search in your filter. Probably just search Fortnite. And after a little while, all your Fortnite models will load up, depending on how many you have downloaded from the Steam Workshop. And then once you have located your Fortnite model, you just want to click it, make sure it turns orange, and click open. And then it'll be like this. You just want to click it and then use the WASD keys to zoom out, and then you can just move around using your mouse while holding the click. And now you can see your character is not too bright, so you just want to zoom out to about this much. Go down here again. Instead of doing a new model, you want to do new light. And at the start you'll see it's a bit bright, so you just want to go over to your light, and the first thing right here is just intensity, so you can drag that up and down. This looks about right. Make sure you don't do it too bright, because you're going to be adding other lights to make it look good with your background. And then depending on where the light is on your background is where the lights are going to be on your render. So the light seems to be on the top right here, so that's where I'm going to put a light. Now I'm just going to move my camera right behind the back right of his head and aim it directly at him, and then I'm just going to click create animation set for a new light. And then it looks really bright here, but once you turn around it looks a little bit better, but it's still going to be a little bit too bright, so you just want to turn that down a little bit. Now for this background in particular, there's not too much lighting, so I'm just going to do one more right here behind his back at this weird angle. And then I'm just going to turn the intensity of that just a little bit, just to make it look like there's a rim, so then it looks a little bit more natural. And then once you've finished all the lighting on your model, you just want to pose it, you just want to click on it, press Control on your keyboard, and then select the model, and you want to go to rotate, and you'll have these lines to rotate, or you can just select the middle to do this, and you can just do all the rotating you want. And to move the entire character, you just want to go back over here and select the entire character, and you can move it around as much as you want as well. And once you're done posing, to pose the face, you just want to go over here, face, you want to go to eyes, and you can just move the eyes up and down with this, or left and right. And then for the upper face, you can just do like a blink and stuff, or you can just do the mouths or whatever. Or to do the entire face, you just click it, and then you can just do all at once. Now before you render your model, you just want to right click and go to your render settings, and you want to copy these down exact, and you want these as your render settings. Now once you're done with all that, you just want to go to File, Export, Export Poster, and Save. And you want to switch this to PNG and just click Export Poster. And then while you're waiting for it to export, and if you don't like it, if you don't like the brightness or the lighting, you can always change it. Make sure you always make it a little bit lower, because you're going to change it in Photoshop anyways. And then once you're done with that, you want to locate your renders, which is still going to be under the source filmmaker folder, all the way down to renders from these, and make sure it's there, and make sure to see if it worked. And mine's right here. So after that, you want to open Photoshop and download it. I'll have the link for that in the description as well, right under the Whiteroom file download. And then keep in mind that your first Fortnite thumbnail won't always be the best, and the posing could be better the next time. And if your posing is not perfect with like another character, or the character holding a gun, then it will always be better the next time, and you'll always get better and improve. And if you need help, I'll be in my Discord server, and there will be other people there to help you and tell you what to do to improve it. And if you don't want to buy Photoshop, you can always sign up for the free trial, and then after your 7-day free trial, this will always open up when you open it. If you just close this, then Photoshop automatically opens anyways, like this, so you never have to pay for it. Then once you're in Photoshop, you want to go to File, New, and then you want to have it 1920 by 1080, and the resolution to be 300. It doesn't have to be too high, because the YouTube thumbnail won't even be that large anyways. And then you want the background to be white, and have all this set to this with 8-bit, and just click Create. And then the first thing you're going to want to do is go to File, Open, and then locate your thumbnail and open that. Okay, as you can see, after you open it, I chose a different one because I thought this image would look a little bit better with my render. And I got this one from the Season 8 backgrounds. But then all you want to do is just grab it and then drag it over to your other thing, and then you can just close that. And now you want to click Control T to move it into the box range. And then in case if the lighting is on the wrong side or messed up with your render or your image, you just want to select it, and then when you click Control T, you can just right click and click flip horizontally. Now you want to reopen your rendered image you rendered, and then after you opened it, you can see that it has a white background and it's not transparent. So to do this, you just want to select it, press W, and click the background. And in case it has the this area as well, if you just removed it, it would make it head be levitating. So in case you do that, there's always a different way. You can just use this tool right here, and you can like crop it out if you want, and then go around and move that. That was sloppy. You can take a little bit longer, but another way to do it is to do the W magic wand, copy it, and then paste it. And then when you have the pasted one selected, you just want to zoom in to the areas that are not correctly outlined. So then you can just go back to this tool and just go like this. You can do sloppy, it doesn't really matter. And then re-grab those areas and then go around and just copy that, paste it, and then you can completely delete this layer. So you can delete that, and then go back to this one, press W, delete that, and then you can unselect those, and you can zoom out and see that it's still there and it's not levitating. Now in case if you want to save this and use it in another thumbnail too, you can just click export file, file export, click export as PNG. Otherwise, just to make these two layers one, you just right click and click merge layers, and after that you can just drag that over into your background, and then you can go up here and select this tool and just move it to the area you'd like. I'm just going to put it right here into the side because I'm going to add lettering a little bit later, but you can just put it in the center if you'd like. And then the next step is you want to select the background layer, and you want to go to filter, blur, this one, and just move it to 4. That's my favorite one to do. Other people do a little bit higher or less. It doesn't really matter. You can do as much as you want to your desire, but I would just do 4. Other people also do motion blur, which I don't think works very well. Or if there's something close up and you don't want that blurred, you can just select a layer, go over here and do blur tool, and you probably want to make it a little bit larger and make the strength 100. That's not big enough. Probably around like 400, and you can just continue to go side to side, and you can blur the background, but then the areas in front will not be blurred. Okay, I think this looks nice. I just blurred the sky a little bit, this bush and this thing over here in the mountain, so that looks nice where it just gets more clear as it gets close up. Now once you've done all that little adjustments, now you're going to get into the real coloring changes and making it pop. So first I would like to go to the sharpness tool, zoom in a little bit, and just sharpen the eyes to make them pop a little bit more and make them a little bit more bright. And then you can zoom out and then go to the top layer. You can go to FX and go to, you want to go to hue and saturation, and just turn up the saturation to about 13. You can adjust this depending on the thumbnail, but 13 looks best for about most things. Then you want to go back to that, go to curves, and just go back to this 2/3 area and move it about to the top, or maybe a little bit less. That's a little bit bright, but you can adjust that to however you want it. And then after you adjusted that, you want to go once again, select the top layer, then go to this, right click and go to vibrance, and just move the vibrance around 45. I do 45 for all my thumbnails, but you can just change it to however you'd like. And then now in the description I'll have a color correlation pack that you'll want to download. It will be a Photoshop file, and you can just open that. Now you can open the color correction pack. Just select these two by holding shift and then drag it over to your thumbnail. Just put it right on top and it'll be a little bright, so you just want to adjust the group 8 to about 20%, and then the group 2 can be between about 0 and 10. Usually 0 works best, but I'm just going to do 10%. And then once you've done all that in order with hue and saturation, curves, vibrance to the 8 in group 2, you want to go back down to curves and then adjust that a little bit down maybe. And then you want to go back to the background, add a curves there, and then adjust that down a little bit to make it look a little bit more natural. And then once you're done with all that and you think your lighting doesn't look right, you can just go to the paintbrush tool, put it on white, and then turn the opacity, flow, and smoothing to 100%. Make the size about 200 and just make one dot. Actually, before you do that, you want to go to here, new layer, and then go to the paintbrush and make a dot. Not two, just one. Then you just want to copy and paste that dot and then put them directly over each other. And then once you have them both directly over each other, you just want to go to the fill and turn it down to about 80% for both of them. And you can select both of them, merge layers, Control T, and just increase the size of it to a very big size. And just move it to the area to make the lighting look more realistic and natural. Now most people don't do this, but I do. I actually go to my character layer and I go to FX and I go to outer glow and I just put that on the opacity to 35 and the size to 100, and I make the range 100, the jitter on 0 and the sprite on 0 and the noise on 0, and you can adjust that to as much as you want, but I leave that at 35 and I click OK. Now most people don't do this, but I added lettering just to make my thumbnail pop a little bit more. But otherwise, all you just need is the rendered character in the background and all these little other things, and your thumbnail's done. And you just want to click File, Export, quick export as PNG. But most YouTube thumbnails don't allow over 2 megabytes, so you just click Export As, and then make it a PNG smaller file. And then after that, you just click Export All. And that's pretty much everything for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go join my Discord for the free wallpapers for Season 9 and 8 and the asset packs with renders. And I also have the links for the models for the Steam Workshop and some other stuff for Blender. And I'll see you in the next one.